I have been watching, examining, and praying, honestly, about the 2024 election, and it's reminding me of a whole bunch of elections in Adventure Odyssey. It's reminding me about a whole bunch of elections in 2022, and that is not a good thing. So let's get into this. So when I ran for president in 2022, you guys can read about that on Ethan Shea series SSALTW, right? Like, just running here, just standing around, kind of like answering questions. But then on November 9th, 2022, okay, a day after I joined NTB, people come out here asking me questions about like condom vending machines and my stance on LGBTQ, and asking me questions about if I was going to end evolution in the school and put in a creationist far right theocracy. Shall I be elected president of my school? Okay, and this parallels with the amount of stupid, absolutely ridiculous questions that the media asks Republican frontrunner in this election. Okay, and that's not a good thing, right? Because honestly, I had a hard time with those questions. I tried to do them as well as I could, but I mean, they were stupid. Like, would I ban books in the school, even if I hypothetically wanted to, right? I couldn't. I'm not running for governor. Okay, coincidentally, that was around the time when the actual governor of Texas was actually running, and people were asking me who my parents voted for, like who I would have voted for or whatever. I'm like, what? I can't even vote. I'm like 15. All right, and then, as you guys may know, I was under crush attacks constantly, all the time, having to answer questions from kids that I knew were like trap questions, like, do you think this person's pretty or not, making sure not to say that, but not in a way that makes the people would think I'm gay. You carefully, never calling someone pretty or attractive, or never saying anything like saying things like crush, or just making sure I didn't have anything taken out of context so that idiot kids wouldn't use them against me. Always making sure that I watch my words, watch my tongue, even coming up with defined pre-responses, right? Because I knew that people were going to take things out of context all the time. And I think Trump needs to do that too. Okay? People take him out of context all the time. And all these stupid questions, like literally, let's talk about them thinking I was going to ban books. I couldn't, and they're not. Everyone's running around yapping like, oh my goodness, Florida's banning books. I hear that at church all the time. People are there yapping and whining, no, that's not what they're doing. Maybe you should actually go read a book, but whatever. Okay, so let me. Not to mention the kids asking about condom vending machines. It's analogous to Tim Walz's what they call tampon things. I don't really know what those are, but apparently they're only supposed to be in girls' bathrooms. Whatever. Okay, so let me get that off my checklist. Okay, and then leftward shift and how that parallels to my election. Oh yes, yeah. So of course, the Republican frontrunner is like kind of like shifting a little bit like leftward because like this little stance on abortion flip thing that happened last week, and how that's like terrible because it made all the pro-lifers mad. But here's my advice: don't do that. Don't shift leftward. Okay. All right. Let's do another comparison. 2022 election. Right. My opponent, my real opponent. We'll get to the fake opponent next. My opponent in that election was like, basically Kamala Harris. Basically, if you think about it, like she was atheist. She was way more liberal than me. Obviously, she was. She believed in evolution, right? If I shifted on any of my positions, right, in that debate, just be like, oh, no, I've been here for 1.5 years, but, I'm just going to shift on every position that I've stood for. I'm going to shift on Christianity. I'm going to shift on being pro-life. I'm going to shift on creationism and just shift to flip to go get votes. That probably wouldn't have worked. Because they've been like, wait, why are you lying? You've been here for 1.5 years, and you have shifted on every major policy position. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's also happening. Anyway, they would have said I'm shifting. I probably would have also left some of my Christian voters, right? Because honestly, I think I was liked for my let's resist the mainstream. Not Vince Dow, like whatever. Let's like resist the mainstream. He's brave, articulate, right? Not like fighting to some extent, right? But if I just shifted on every policy position, she would have still won. She would have still won because they're like, well, I mean, she's the original. I mean, And if you think about it, in a high school election, things like Christianity, condom vending machines, whatever, aren't going to be huge talking points in the halls of student council. Okay, that was never a topic. So if you were to shift off our policy positions on things that didn't matter in the context of a non-school, right? We probably would have been the same thing. Like, we probably would have had the same prom planning, the same the same context of right and wrong in terms of rules and things like that. Now, she might have been a bit more liberal in terms of like LGBTQ events, and I would have, of course, like vetoed those. But we would have had basically the same thing. But in the real election, shifting policies is not a good idea for either candidate. Flip-flopping is getting Harris in lots of trouble. Okay, and flip-flopping is also getting Trump in lots of trouble. So don't do that. Okay, check that off the list. All right, and I just compared yeah, okay, there we go. And then in some Senate race that's happening here. All right, this kind of compares to like the 23, not really, but kind of in my post election in 2023 at the other school, right? You know, go check out SSALTW, where we were going around and using our technology to rank people, with the photo app that I use, and people just going around, oh, wow, 25 out of 10. Well, actually, there's this Senate race that's going on. You'll see this on the screen. And someone was ranking them on the terms of their attractiveness. And they were saying that's why one of the candidates, I can't remember which one, had a 2% majority over the other one. And I'm telling you, this ain't high school election, people. This is not high school. No, okay? We're not going to run around here and rank candidates based off attractiveness. What do you think this is, a Snapchat story? But are you guys scrolling Instagram? This is an election, not a high school prom election. Okay. Side tangent here. I was the commissioner for high school prom election this year. Right. I also have to prevent election fraud. Go figure. And I don't know, and of course I'm not going to comment because that would get me in lots of trouble, and also I'm against it, on if the people who won the election, who won the prom king, queen, prom prince and princess, yeah, were ecstatic. But guess what? It's a bunch of 9th graders, 10th graders, 11th graders, and 12th graders who voted. Okay, that doesn't matter. Do you know what does matter? Is when the 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 100th graders are voting, okay? Because that actually has the stake of the nation. Do you know who's going to remember who the 2023 prom election winner at my school was in 5 years, other than me and all the readers on SSALTW? No one. Do you know who's going to remember who the president of the United States was in 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028? The whole world, okay? So, do you know who's going to remember who those senators are or what their bills are? Lots of people. Should be ranking people like this is the dang Instagram story where you have two people here. Oh, wow, I think she's a 9.5. I think she's a 9.7. So, you know, I'm going with the 9.7, even though their policies may be completely atrocious. Being pretty, according to the people online, is not a personality trait. It's not a quality trait. And it doesn't mean that you deserve to be elected. Okay, next. Okay, whatever. I don't know. We'll get back to the next one. We have Isabella Maria DeLuca. Right? The scandal of her existing is comparable to like bullying popular kids. And I'm like, what is going on here? Let's stop bullying random people on X for whatever they're wearing. Okay. In 2022, when I ran for election, there was no news. For some reason, they had news last year, but there was no news this year. And there was only one debate that never aired. Huh, now that sounds familiar. But again, he who controls the prom colors does not control the nukes. It's not as important as he who controls the nukes. So, you know, that debate wasn't consequential, right? It also showed that we basically believe the same things. Just when it got down, but on like social positions, you know, I was quote unquote far right and she would be like to the left of me. And then, I believe in the most teenage girl-esque the most teenage girl-esque moment of the 2024 election, or at least something in Senate. This is election adjacent. As you remember, when MTG, AOC, and Jamie Crockett, whoever the heck that is, was all like, wait, oh, girl, baby girl, don't even play. White.
Oh, girl, baby girl. Oh, really? Don't even play, baby girl. I don't.
What on earth are you doing? What, do you think that you are a 16-year-old girl with an iPhone 14 Pro and a pink Stanley Cup coming up here? We're like, oh, girl, baby girl, don't you even play. You're in Congress. What are you doing? What does this look like? You're an 11th grader going over here crying about prom colors? Does this look like that you're in the middle of an SSA-LTW story?
Meet GCAM, the school's emerging world power.
No, it does not look like that. Okay? Does this look like, what? I can't even imagine that happening in my school's Congress, let alone, actual Congress. What are you doing? Going on teasing someone's eyelashes? Eyelashes?
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Okay, she's probably as dumb as a rock. Go tease on something else. Like, I don't know, policy. But please, getting up in people's face and being like,
oh, girl, baby girl.
What? That's the type of thing I expect to see from some girl furiously typing on her iPhone 14 Pro, pink case with bunny ears and like some post wearing high heels, walking furiously, like typing into like iMessage chat on like 3 friends, like, yeah, you get it, go. No, okay, what is this? Lying and changing positions, like Coach Stevens. Coach Stevens, as you know, ran for election twice in the Vincent Odyssey. Slammed Lucy Cunningham Solch for being a bad reporter. I guess so. Maybe that would be a good thing nowadays. But 40 years ago, or 30-something years ago, that wasn't good. Slammed Lucy Cunningham Solch, changed positions, promised things. In one of his elections, he promised people free ice cream if they came to a campaign event. Of course, he can't afford that, even by 1989 prices. Okay. So, the changing of positions in these elections, and then the number one thing here, Olivia Parker in a Club episode, she has a fake accent. I'm gonna link it here. She has a fake accent. She has a Texan accent. She has a British accent, and then she has a normal, hi, I'm Olivia Parker, and welcome to Adventures in Odyssey accent.
I'm Southern British.
Oh, Olivia, there you are. We've been looking for you.
Oh, well, I shan't be too long.
What?
Just having a chit-chat with my mum.
Oh.
Wait, that's Dr. Fenwick?
Yeah, have you met her?
Mm-hmm, at Finneman's Market. She was buying glasses, and I was speaking normal.
Well, good.
And you can start sitting this Friday if you're available.
Well, you betcha. Sounds like a grand old time.
Oh, good. Well, best of luck. Now, you
Match, Mrs. Burke. I'm nervous as a pig at a picnic, but I'm going to be doing my best.
Okay, see you in there.
Pig at a picnic? I can't help it, Mom. It just comes out of me.
And I'm sorry to say that's actually happened as well.
Thank a union member for the 5-day work week. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. You better thank unions for sick leave. Thank unions for paid family leave. Thank unions for your vacation time.
So, this election has been very, very reminiscent of 2022 election, very reminiscent of 2023 election. Oh, yeah, that's the thing I was talking about. 2023 election, and I just walk in, brand new, didn't have any primaries, and I run it, and I actually almost win. Okay, in the 2022 election, I was told that I was told, okay, I'm going to pause. In the 2022 election, let me tell you about this. Okay, there was a candidate who was running to not get votes. He wasn't running against me-ish. He was kind of like my rival intellectually, but politically, he was just running to not get votes. Does that sound familiar? Oh yes, there's that Constitution Party, candidate, an RFK Jr. candidate who is running and telling people not to vote for them in the swing states. So very, very interesting there. Also in 2022, I actually submitted a document claiming that the election had been stolen due to the fact that my posters had been taken down, due to the fact that there was this kid who was going around and violated election law because they were a write-in, so they couldn't spend over $1 on the campaign, and promised, and I think they did, and promised kids $1 if they won, every kid. So that'd be at least 200 kids that you can't really prove if they voted for you or not, and if they won. And I reported them. I don't know what happened, but and then on election day, my like grade of voters, like they kind of split the grades up. They were all taping a movie in the 10 minutes that they got to vote, or 10 minutes that we were told that they got to vote, but they actually left the link up for the whole day. And I heard that the election was extremely, extremely tight. Now in 2023, I just come in here brand new. Who does that sound like? Oh yeah, Kamala. I come in here and I almost win, right? You can read about that. That's just LCW. But I actually get a position on the government. Do you know what that means? I have won at least the same amount of elections that she has. Okay. I don't know what that says, but I mean, I guess the American people like me at least as much as they like to. So here's my advice to the candidates. Okay. Republican frontrunner, do not change positions. Okay, it's not a good idea. And Kamala, I don't have any advice for you. Yeah, you change accents as much as you like to. All right. That, this is not a good thing. Okay, this is really not a good thing. I really said I have a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 ways that my life resembles an election that actually matters. Because remember, when I was running here, there are people who quite actually would probably say, and you've seen the Gen Z videos, who probably actually say, "Oh, girl, baby girl, don't even play." There are probably people who actually were saying, stupid stuff that, Gen Z says, right? Those videos were like, what's the largest state in America? China. Okay? So those are probably some of my voters, or non-voters. But now, we have a real election. And remember this. He who controls the prom colors is not nearly as important as he who controls the nukes.
Poor hubby. Not.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened
And
by what has
talking
been.
about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires.
Oh, girl, baby girl. Oh, really? Don't even play, baby girl. I don't